What does a mother look like? What does your mother look like? What do mothers in art look like? Well, whether it's your own or someone else's, knowing where we come from, where our mothers come from, where our mothers' mothers come from, it's all part of how we create our now. So we're going to feed you with ideas to create your own book of mothers. And we've sent you some templates with portraits in circles. So you can cut these out and you can simply glue them into pages of an old book, or you can cut a round circle and frame the portraits that we've sent you. And you can put your own photos of your own mother in there. And if you do that, we recommend that you scan the photos and then cut them. But you can use the round circles from the templates as a template to the photos that you're cutting out. So here I'm cutting out different sized circles to match the portraits. It's a little bit tricky to cut the book, especially when you're showing it to someone else, but really make sure that you've got the book, the pages of the book in a comfortable position for you. Because here when I was filming it, it was a little slightly trickier. So here I'm using the photo from the template as a template to cut the circle of our mother. And she's going to go right in there. And then I'm going to glue the other one on top of it. Or you could also use the circle that you cut out of the book as a template and make sure that the circle is smaller. The circle you're cutting out from the book page is smaller than the actual picture that you're going to put behind it, because you just need to have a little bit of glue around for it to stick on. So the circle in the book, in the pages of the book, has to be smaller than the portrait you're putting in there. I'm just fastening the glue. And on the back side, if you don't want to put anything, you could also put colourful dots, or you could write the memory you had when you saw it, where you saw this painting. And it's interesting to look at how artists have depicted their own mothers. Often, a lot of pictures that we see of artists' own mothers are a lot more human. I think they're not scared of showing an older woman, wrinkles. There's a warmth to them. So here I'm putting another photo on the other side, or one of the circles, and write who they are. Who are they to you? This is David Hockney's mother. And here's Pablo Picasso's mother. And here's Vincent van Gogh's mother. And here's Rembrandt's mother. And this mother, I don't know who is, so she's going to get a couple of question marks around it. And then there's the Black Madonna, and there's Freud's mother, and your mother has a mother, and her mother has a mother. And we're all connected. How does your own mother fit into this story? How are you going to frame her? Is she going to be decorated? How are you going to paint her? If you were to paint her, if you were to draw her and say, this is what my mother is, this is what I'd like her to be, this is what I'd like her to have been, you create the dots. Dot. Dot. Now connect those dots. Protecting. Creating. Yes, your mother created you. Maman, here's Louise Bourgeois, a spider. Because my mother was as patient and clean and useful and reasonable and smart as a spider, is what Louise Bourgeois said. Or you could paint dots around all the portraits, as the Japanese Kusama might have done. Once upon a time, there was a mother. Life begins with a mother. What words spring to mind when you think of the word mother? Why not write them down? Sometimes you need to distance yourself from your mother or from being one. It isn't all black and white. However, visualizing it might be a really helpful exercise. So if you create the space between you and your mother What would you like to fill that space with? Sometimes using an image of someone else's mother is easier. So here's Salvador Dali's mother, and I'm imagining that she took up a lot of space. So much space that it might even feel suffocating. So much space that I want to cover it up and look at it in a different way. Turn the page. You can always go back. This is your book. There's no right or wrong. You could create your own story. We're all connected in each other's stories.